Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to this exclusive webinar. Today, we want to have a very key uh, webinar that will help you have a directional bias in the market. And we want to look at harmonic chart pattern. Of course, you understand in the financial market on looking at technical analysis, we have chart patterns. So we'll talk about a double top, double bottom, and then the different chart patterns. But we want to look at a very key chart pattern, a series actually. And today we want to commence with the harmonic chart pattern, especially the Gartley pattern we will be looking at today. And on the basis of this pattern, one can have a very good uh, bias in the market when in conjunction to other confirmations. And so that is what we want to actually look at today. So I want us to stay put as we delve into the Gartley pattern. And this particular webinar is brought to you by DB Investing. And DB Investing is a financial broker that you can also use to trade the financial market. All right. And I am no other person but Mr. Shadrach. I am the financial analyst for DB Investing Nigeria. So let's dive into what we have for today as regarding the harmonic chart pattern, specifically the Gartley pattern. Without wasting much time, we want to look into what we have for today. And today we are looking at the harmonic pattern. And as regarding the harmonic pattern, we are going to, like I said, is a series. And in this series, we are looking at the Gartley pattern. We're going to be also looking at the bat pattern, and then the shark pattern, and then the cipher pattern. So these are patterns we're going to be looking at in the market, all right? So we look at the Gartley, we look at the bat pattern, we also look at the shark pattern, and then we also look at the cipher pattern. All right, so just like in the other case where we look into what's it called, the normal chart pattern, such as the double top, double bottom, and we also look at what is known as the head and shoulder patterns, and then every other chart patterns. Okay, um, here we want to take it step further into looking at harmonic chart patterns. Is that okay? So that is what we want to look into today. So we have the Gartley, we have the bat, we have the chart, and then we also have the cipher pattern. So today we want to concentrate on this Gartley pattern. What exactly is the Gartley pattern and the rules surrounding the Gartley pattern? And also we are going to take a case study as per it in a practical chart and how to identify them and so to trade them. So that is what we want to look at today as regarding the harmonic pattern. So let's push in or push on rather, and then we'll check out the Gartley pattern. Okay. Now, as regarding the Gartley pattern, we have the bullish Gartley, all right, and then we also have the bearish Gartley. So we are going to first of all look into the bullish Gartley, and then after that we look into what is known as the bearish Gartley, and then we'll not take a case study of how it is like, and then that will be fine. All right, so for the bullish Gartley, we look at it on this wise. Now, before you talk about the bullish Gartley, we are anticipating a case scenario where the market is actually rising, okay? And so when the market is rising, we'll take a reference point, call it X, okay? So let's say this is our X point X. So the market is coming up, rising, okay, making higher highs, you see, on an upward trend. So we'll take a reference point, and that reference point, let's call it a point X. All right. So from that point to the next high, let's call that high point A. So on a bullish run, okay, we are taking a reference point X and A. Is that okay? So if we take our point say X and A, and then from point A using our what's known as the Fibonacci retracement tool. Okay, we place our Fibonacci retracement tool from X, drag down to point A, and then if this market retraces up to 60%, 61.8% of the Fibonacci retracement tool, then that point becomes our point B. Okay, so we are looking at a case scenario where you place your Fibonacci tool at point X, you drag to point A, which are your reference frame, and then from that point, the market retraces down to 61.8 of XA. And then on getting to 61.8 of XA, it begins to push up again from that point. Then that point becomes our point B. Okay, so that point becomes our point B. So because we are looking at the case of the bullish Gartley. And then if that point becomes our point B, okay, and point B is 61.8 of XA, that is using our Fibonacci retracement tool to identify point B. Then, let's say the market begins to rise up rather. Okay, it rises up. Now, how do we identify point C? Now, we are saying that point C will definitely come in a range. How? We're expecting point C to be between 38.2 to 88.6 of the Fibonacci retracement tool of AB. Okay. Yeah. So now, what are we trying to say in this case scenario? We are saying that okay, we have what is called our point X, reference point X. Okay, reference point X, X to A, and then on getting to X to A, we place our Fibonacci tool point X, drag to point A, and then we want to check if this retracement, this drop here is up to 61.8 of XA. If it is, then it qualifies to be called our point B to 61.8 of XA. Then from that point, we see that, okay, at point B, the market begins to rise further, okay? And then we want to see if it rises up to, if the push, upward push of point C is between 38.2 to 88.6, then it qualifies to be called point C. If the upward push from point B goes up to the range, that is what we're trying to say is that to get point C, you have to place your Fibonacci retracement tool from point A, drag to point B, okay? And if C is at the Fibonacci retracement of 38.2 or in between 38.2 to 88.6, then it qualifies to be called our point C. Is that okay? That makes sense. All right, so point C could be 61 points, all right? It could be 77 points, whatever. Okay, it could be 50. Okay, so long as it's in between 38.2 to 88.6, it qualifies to be called point C. But point C should not be greater than, okay, than point A. So point C should be a lower high with respect to A. Okay, yeah, it should be a lower high with respect to A. But it should be found within this range, 38.2 to 88.6. Now, when that is achieved, all right, at this point, C, we will now wait again. If this market from this point C will drop, okay, to give us point D. And point D will be our entry position. So you can see we are having this in the sense that the market pushes up from here, X to A, down to give us B to C, from C to D, then from point D, that is when we begin to think about an entry position. To enter for a buy, okay? And then our take profit position will be at point C. Very easy, very simple. So let's go. Now we already know how to get our point C, our point B, our point A, and point X and A, just a reference point where we are taking. All right, so X is actually our reference point, A. So we want to get a retracement from XA, 61.8% of XA, that gives us point B. And then we look again to get point C. We said point C should be within the range of 88.2 to 88.6 of AB. So that means that we'll take our Fibonacci retracement 2 and then drop at point A, drag to point B. And if C is within this range, then it qualifies. Again, we are saying that C should not be higher than A, okay? But it should be a lower high with reference to A, right? It should be a lower high with reference to A. Then once A and C is achieved, the next thing we are looking for is to wait for C to drop down, okay, from the market to drop down from point C to give us our D. So, and point D, where we're going to take our buy position, is going to be 78.6% of XA. So we'll come back to our XA again. Okay, we'll come back to our XA again. So point D is going to be 78.6 of XA. What that means is that we are going to place our Fibonacci retracement tool here, drag to point A, and we want to see from that point if this market has dropped to 78.6. This level here, of course, is 61.8. That is the level for B. Okay, so we want to see this market drop down below this and come to 78.6. If it does, then that has given us our point B, which is our entry position. So there we take in a trade for a buy, and our target profit is at point C, exit the market. All right. Then stop loss also have a rule. We are saying that our stop loss is 1.13 of XA. That is, if you look at the Fibonacci extension, okay, so 1.13. So from here we drop our Fibonacci retracement to drag up to point A, and then if it this particular point where it is 1.13 of XA, that is where we put our stop loss. Okay, this is our entry position, and our take profit position is this particular position. So that will give us roughly a case of 1:2 what's called ratio. Okay, so that is it for the bullish Gartley. All right, I guess it's quite simple. Now let's put traces further. Okay, let's put trace further. So if we want to put trace further, let's take a practical look at this. Okay, now this is the case of the bullish Gartley. What did we do in the case of this particular chart? That this we'll take this as our reference point X. Of course, say this market is on a buy movement. Okay, this is our reference point X. And then the next thing is that we took this point here as our point A. So we can see from point XA to this point, this is our what? Our point B. Point B is roughly around point 61.8, which is this point. And then from this point, it jack up, down to give us point C. Then from point C, we drop down to point D. All right. Here, this is how we took our buy position and our stop loss somewhere around here. Now, if you do this, okay, you can see the massive buy movement here. How it went. Okay. Now, the stop loss position, because if we followed our normal stop loss rule, you know, our stop loss is going to be at 1.13, which is at this level here of the Fibonacci retracement. Okay. So it never came to our stop loss position. Our entry point is 78.6. Okay. Around this point here, there's our entry position. Yes, the market did come a little below. Okay. But it did not hit our stop. And therefore, that pushes on. And our take profit position is at point C, which is at this level. So we are out of the market. You can see the massive profit we got using that. Okay, so let me review it again for clarity purpose. So this is our point X, this is our point A. So from A to B is 61 it's 1.8% of XA. Then from point B, it moved up to give us point C. Okay. From point C, we said if you watch now, point C is quite is within that range of 38. If we reverse our Fibonacci retracement too, we can get, because we're going to measure from A, B to get point C. That is quite noble. And then from here, we drop down to give us our point D. And point D is actually 78, okay? 78% of XA, so which disqualifies. So from here, we'll take our entry position, and then our stop loss is actually at 113 level. So there is our stop loss position. So we take it from here and then push on, and our take profit position is here, so which is, it hits our take profit position. So that's it about the bullish Gartley. Now the reverse is the case for the bearish Gartley. Is that okay? Yeah, the reverse is the case for the bearish Gartley. So let's look at the bearish Gartley. So this is the bearish Gartley, the same procedure, the same system. So on the case of the bearish Gartley, we are looking at the case where the market is dropping, okay, for itself. So we take a reference point here, we call it, say, this our X position. From that point to this point, say, to this point here is our A. So we have our XA, from which we want to take as a reference frame to begin to do our plotting. Now, once you have gotten that, now we want to get point B. Point B has to be 61.8% of XA. So we'll drop our Feb here, drag down to A, and then check this retracement out if it's up to 61.8. If it is up to 61.8, then this qualifies to be called point B. Now, having gotten our point B, we expect the market to do a drop from there, okay, to give us point C, and point C definitely will be an higher low, okay? In the case of the bullish, it is a lower high, but in the case of the bearish, it's what? An higher low, which is our point C. And point C, we said, is going to be 38.2, within the range of 38.2 to 88.6 of AB, all right? So that is about point C. So from there, all right, the market pushes on again to give us point D. Now, point D, just as we earlier said, is 78.6 of XA. So we'll drop it at X, drag to point A, and then check the retracement from this point down to point D. If point D is exactly at 78.6 of XA, then at that position, we can come in for an entry, for a sell entry, and then our take profit position at point C level, stop loss at 113 of XA. All right. So that is that for the bearish Gartley. I don't want to waste much time on it because we have already discussed about it in detail a little during the bearish. So just vice versa, same thing. Let's look at a case scenario for the bearish Gartley. Okay, so this is the bearish. Okay, so this is the bearish. Now, this is X, and this A, which is our reference points we want to take. So to get at point B, we said is going to be 61.8 of XA. So if we take down this is exactly at 61.8 level of the Fibonacci 2 here. Okay. Now, from that point, we expect it to drop. It drop down to 23, this particular level, which is in between 38, because if we reverse our Fibonacci 2, we'll see that this is within the range of 38.2 to 88.6. Okay. Here. From this point, the market took up again to give us point D. All right. And this point D, if you check, is 88.6 level, which it qualifies to be called our D. So that becomes our entry level for a sell. So we came in here for the sell market our stop loss is here, and then this market rolled right down here, and then hit our TP, which is at point C. So you can see very clean market, very simple, very sweet. All right. So the truth about the matter is that what actually make you successful in the financial market is sometimes it's a mixed breed, or let's say it's an hybrid of so many body of knowledge that you combine together in form of a capsule to give you a trading decision. All right. So sometimes if you're not profitable in the market, it could be that your knowledge bank is too small. So you need to improve your knowledge bank, and then that will help you to make some good trading decisions. So today as I've earlier said, we are just only banking on the bearish Gartley and how to run on it. Okay, so that is it about the bearish Gartley that we are looking at today. And I guess everyone has an understanding, clear cut on this. So with this, you can just scan the market, check the market, and see how to source for the Gartley pattern, and then see how you can actually use it to do some good trading, okay, in the market. So thank you so very much, guys. I guess this will help you for the rest of the week and for the next week to have a peaceful week and a peaceful trading. Anytime you go into the market to trade, this particular pattern is actually heavy, and you can use it in alliance with other patterns just to draw out conclusions and confirmation before you enter the trade. Thank you so very much, guys, and bye-bye.